Cool. So just so everybody knows, I have my computer there, like my camera there, my computer there, so I can see. Awesome. And I have my flatmates here as well doing the practice. I won't show them. I'll just keep the camera where it is, but they are behind the camera. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Mantiden, Kunguru, Nyarfangre, Mauku, Mantiden. Cool. Awesome. Cool. We'll just wait like a minute or two to see if someone else comes in, and then we can actually start.
Painters are no longer able to purchase tickets in stores, or counters are closed for the level 4 shutdown, even if the store are in remains open.
And
Three-quarters of tickets bought in stores.
Everybody's there, and especially Amy, once I start doing the practice, would you be able to make sure that when people come in, they are silent or mute them?
Yes, I'll do that.
Awesome, thank you.
As best I can.
Can you guys see me well? Because there's this light that is shining in here.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's good. I just want to welcome everybody today. My name is Amy Boyd, and I am very passionate about teaching natural health. I've experienced lots of ups and downs in my life and really built resilience, and want to teach you the natural tools that I have learned along the way. Some of them have been what Brian's going to teach today. So meditation practices, yoga. My main passion is essential oils and natural medicine. And I want you to go away today with some really easy tools to use while we're in isolation, but also things that we can help to build our immune health, that we can really strengthen our mental health, and that we can really thrive in this.
It's not moving.
So please, I have put you on mute, but I'd love to see your faces, and I'd love for you to interact with Brian and myself today, so that we can really understand what you guys really want. I'll be watching the chat box while Brian is teaching and responding via chat. And vice versa, when I am teaching the essential oils class, Brian will be responding in chat.
Yes.
I'll also take this recording and email it to you after the class, if you have to leave at any time during the class. And we would like to stay in touch with you and get you into our online community so that you can really benefit from the wisdom that we've picked up collectively over the coming 4 weeks that are, I know that it's going to bring a lot of stuff up. I think the question to be asking yourself right now is, when in your life have you worked through something like this? When have you faced difficulty? I know you're all sitting here in front of me, so you've been through hard times and you've come out the other end okay, and the same is going to happen here. You're going to come out stronger than you went into this period of your life. We're just going to help you with a few little tools along the way. I have been through some really challenging times, and I'll share with you a little bit of my story along the way. But I want to first share why I really love natural health and think it's the way of the future, but especially right now. So right now, hospitals around the world are completely overwhelmed. And I think that it's our responsibility to firstly be proactive and look after our own health, to take the burden off the doctors and the nurses that are working so hard and trying so hard to keep us all well. The second thing is I am a big advocate for mental health. I have lost very close people to me to suicide. And I know that during this time, that's going to be a really big factor in our communities. When I had a 1-year-old baby and I was parenting by myself at 22, my child's father committed suicide. And at that time in my life, I just didn't even know how I would get through that period. But I did, and now he is 12 years old and thriving, and I now know that I can go through tough times. And I'm sure you guys have all got stories like this. In fact, I know that you will. You'll have big things that you've faced. So just hold on to those and know that you're super strong and that we can get through this together. So today we're going to start with Brian introducing himself and why he is interested into what he does and what his passions are. And then we're going to literally get on the floor and get our yoga on. So this is going to be super fun. Welcome, Brian. How are you going?
Yes. Thank you, Amy. Thanks for sharing. I need to remember that I'm looking at that camera, not my computer. I'm Brian, as Amy was saying, and I am originally from Argentina. And I've been actually working with myself and working with understanding myself for a long time now. And this is what I always want to share to people. Like, there's no need to wait until we hit rock bottom, until we get to situations like we are going through now, to learn how we can cope with them and to learn how we can actually use them. So I'm just going to turn this down. There's a lot of work that needs to be done with resilience. And for me, the biggest thing is understanding, as Amy was just saying, like, we have all gone through different things. And the more that we understand that we have gone through challenging times, the easier it is for us to understand that we actually are strong enough and have all of the tools necessary for us to go through life. And the practices that we're going to do now in a moment are not the typical yoga practices. They come from Tibetan yoga, and it's all about understanding our feelings, understanding our body, understanding how the energy is flowing or how it's not flowing. And the more that we understand our relationship with our body, the more that we understand our relationship with how the energy can flow and be processed or not, then we're going to be able to have much more resilience. The bigger that my energy field is, the easier it is for me to deal with life. So if I live in a very emotional, stressed out space that is small, then everything that is going to happen in my life is going to be a problem and I'm going to suffer. If I come from an open space, big awareness, big energetic body, then every situation that happens in my life becomes just a situation. And I can deal with it because all that I'm doing is experiencing them, however they are. And we tend to judge everything. We tend to become enamored with the stories that we make up of why that is, and why that is positive or why that is negative, instead of just allowing ourselves to be. So for the practice that we're going to do now, my invitation is that you give yourself the permission to just drop into your body and to feel, and not to judge your experience. So as we go through some movements and some postures or some practices, I encourage you as much as possible to stay with the feeling and the sensations. And by that I mean that if I have, let's say, a feeling here in my hand, I can say like, there's a tingly feeling perhaps. That is the level of feeling that I want to stay. I don't want to be like, that feels nice, or that feels bad, or positive or negative. Like, can we stay with that first direct experience of sensation? And for the tradition that I've been practicing for many, many years, a sensation or a feeling is just the way that we experience energy moving. So as energy beings, if there's energy that is moving through my hand, I have a feeling in my hand. If there's energy moving in my belly, I have a feeling there. Now it's much easier for us to understand how to feel and not be attached with the feeling and with the story that comes up in my hand. But if I have a feeling somewhere in my torso, in my belly, in my chest, usually that comes attached with an emotion and a reaction. So my invitation is to stay with the first layer of experience. So saying that, just going to start. So I'm just going to invite everyone to find a place to sit. So that can be in a chair, or that can be on the floor. And as you find your space, I'm going to invite you to, if you're sitting on the chair, make sure that you're sitting towards the edge of the chair. And if you're sitting on the floor, I'm going to invite you to stay as much upright as you can, all the time trying not to strain our backs. It's not needed for us to get to that place. Okay. So as we stay in our sitting place, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for a moment and to take a couple of deep breaths, paying special attention to the exhale. So making an exhale like allowing with each exhale to let go of what came before. With each exhale, allowing the past to stay in the past, whatever happened before you were now in this space, allowing that to stay in the past, allowing any worries, allowing any stress of the situation that we're going through, for a moment to put that to the side. So allow that exhale to help you with that. Whatever needs to happen after this session, also letting that go. Whatever needs to happen afterwards is still going to be there for you. So I invite you, just as we let go of the past, letting go of the future. Just one or two deep breaths. And then starting to allow the breath to come back to a more natural rhythm. And as we let go of the past, let go of the future, let go of any worries and stress, I invite you to give yourself the permission to be here, present, now, in this moment, in your body. And to go in. And to notice, how does your inner landscape look like at this moment? Try not to judge, try not to label the experience, just noticing any feelings and sensations in your body. As we keep on feeling, I'm going to invite you to breathe a little bit more from your mouth. So if you're used to breathing through your nose, breathing a little bit from your mouth. Ideally, we breathe through both nose and mouth, inhaling and exhaling. But for the purposes of this session, I invite you to breathe as much as possible through your mouth. And as we breathe through the mouth, allowing the breath to flow down into your abdominal area as much as possible. Allowing us the time to just be in this place. And I invite you to bring your awareness to your throat, neck, and shoulders area. And we're going to make some circles with our shoulders. So allowing the shoulders to make circles, making sure as we make circles that we can go as big as possible, making sure our chin is tucked in. And as we move our shoulders, we might notice the clicking of the bones. We might notice some feelings on the back of our neck, just taking the time to feel that. Super important for me always to make sure that this part of my body is open, not only because most of us have all of our tension and tightness and stress on the back of the neck and the shoulders, but also because I want to open the throat chakra. So making sure that we move a little bit the shoulders. If you haven't yet, make sure that we switch direction. Making sure as we're making this movement with the shoulders that we're still breathing. That our belly is getting filled with our air. The energy is going down. Just a little bit longer. And then bringing the movement to a stop. Noticing any feelings and sensations around the throat, neck, and shoulders area. And for most of us, when we start bringing some movement there, we're going to want to move the head immediately because we want to escape that feeling of tightness. So my invitation always is, as we move a little bit the shoulders, to just feel for a moment. And then we bring the chin towards the chest. So I invite you to bring the chin towards the chest. And slowly bring the chin all the way up, as far up as it's comfortable for you. So it can be here, or it can be all the way up, depending on what is comfortable for you. Making sure that your mouth is open, your jaw is relaxed. And bring it all the way down to the chest. And bring it one more time all the way up towards the sky. And down towards the chest. And now we're going to make some circles with our head. So just going around, and it can be clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. But making sure as we move that we go slowly. And when we find a place in the movement that feels tight, just move back and forth through that space, bring your breath and awareness into it, and then continue with the circle. So anytime that you find any tightness, just move back and forth through that space and then continue with the circle. If at any point as we're doing these movements, you need to move how your legs are, feel free to do that. Not everyone is used to having crossed legs for an extended period of time. And find a good place to switch direction of the movement. Making sure all the time that what breathing is possible. Breathing in through the mouth. And finding a good place to finish the movement and to come back to center. And when you return to your normal position, just take a moment there. If you need, close your eyes, just to feel. Notice how the breath is flowing through the throat. Noticing if there's any different kind of experience now around your throat, neck, and shoulders area. And when we are ready, I'm going to invite you to come up to standing. So in your own tempo, bring yourself up to standing. Yeah. And as we are standing, I'm going to invite you to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor. Your body is tall, but not straining, and your knees are relaxed. So a lot of times we have our knees completely to the back, so just bent enough so that I could bounce if needed. Yeah. And from here, I'm going to invite you to bring your arms through the front, all the way up. So the arms go all the way up until they reach up towards the sky. Making sure as we're reaching up towards the sky that our bellies are relaxed. We're still breathing into them. Breathing, if possible, through the belly. So we're reaching up to the sky from the fingertips, and we're reaching down to the earth from our feet. Connecting the earth and the sky. Yeah. And we're going to bend to the left. So it can be just a little bit, or it can be a lot, depending on your flexibility. It doesn't matter how far. It can be a little bit or a lot. Once you reach your limit, stay there. Reach out. Make sure that you're breathing and feeling, reaching out and reaching out. Slowly coming up to center. And we're going to go to the right, so the same. It doesn't matter how far you can bend. You go up to your limit and you stay there, reaching out. Even if physically nothing is happening, energetically we're trying to reach out. Breathing in and out. Slowly coming up to center. Opening a little bit to the back, so bending just a little bit to the back. It's more like opening the chest and opening the armpits, looking diagonally up. If needed, bend a little bit your knees. Make sure that your chest is open. You're breathing in and out. Feeling your fingertips, feeling your hands and arms, and all the way down. And slowly come up to center. And with the torso and the arms as one, now we're going to go forward until you are parallel to the ground. So just like this. Until the fingertips and the top of the head are pointing forward and my bottom and my pelvis are reaching back. So looking to our legs, our thighs. Breathing in and out, interlacing your fingers and pulling even more in both directions, trying to lengthen your spine. Breathing in and out. Releasing the fingers, allowing your arms to join your pelvis, reaching back. So now your hands go all the way to the back, also reaching to the back. The top of the head keeps on reaching forward, lengthening the spine. Breathing in and out. And slowly release the arms and slowly rolling up. And as you find yourself standing, take a moment just to feel this movement, even though it might not seem like it moves a lot of energy. We're going to do one more movement to bring some more energy into our body. So we're going to open our legs just a little bit wider apart, toes pointing out. And we're going to bring our hands to our hips with the thumbs forward and the fingers towards the back. So this is going to enable us to keep our chest and torso open. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend our knees and we're going to go down. And again, it doesn't matter how far you go. It can be a little bit, it can be a lot, it doesn't matter. Actually, move up and down and try to find a place that feels that it has a little bit more energy. And when you find that place, stay there. Surprisingly, it could be higher than you think. And once you find that place, just stay there. making sure that everything that can be relaxed is relaxed. So your belly can be relaxed, your toes can be relaxed, you can even wiggle your toes, your bottom can be relaxed, your anal genital area can be relaxed. Everything except the thighs that are engaged could be relaxed. And we're going to stay here for 10 minutes. I'm kidding. We're just going to stay here for just a moment longer. Whenever it's too much for you, you can release it, but make that slowly. Each of us has different bodies, so making sure that we're listening to our bodies. So very slowly come up. Notice a little bit of a shakiness as we go up. Okay. When you find all the way up, release the hands. Bring your legs to a comfortable position. Good. Take a moment here just to feel. Okay. I'm just going to check the time. We're good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring the left hand to our right shoulder and the right hand to the left shoulder, making sure that the elbows are pointing down. It's like you're giving yourself and your heart an embrace. And for the ones that are able to do that, we're also going to cross the right leg on top of the left. So we're going to basically have both feet next to each other. So the first thing here is finding balance. So if you're already struggling with balance here, just make sure that you're breathing down into your belly, finding that balance. And in a moment, what we're going to do is we're going to bend forward and down. So just bring yourself all the way forward and down, making sure that the arms are still touching your body. And when you reach all the way down for you, wherever that is, it can be here, it can be here, and wherever your body allows you, make sure that your neck is relaxed, so move your head from side to side. And take a few deep exhales. Letting go. Allow any stress, any worries that you might have to go from the top of your head down to the floor, down to the earth. Just like the wax of a candle, allow that to flow down to the earth. The earth can take it. All of your stress, all of your worries, letting that go. Two more breaths here. And then slowly pay attention to your feet and your legs and start bringing yourself up. And the moment that you reach all the way up, make sure to open a little bit to the back, open your chest a little bit and look a little bit up. Making sure that you're breathing in and out. And come back to center. And very slowly release the postures, or slowly release the legs. And slowly allow the hands to go down. When you get to a standing position, just take a moment to feel. Take a moment just to notice any feelings and sensations. Noticing what's happening around your chest area, noticing what's happening around your hands and your arms. Noticing what's happening in your legs. And we're going to do the other side. So we're going to bring the right hand to the left shoulder and the left hand to the right shoulder. And the first thing here that I want you to notice is how different this feels. Usually one side we're used to, and the other side we are not. Just notice how different this feels. And then we're going to cross the left leg over the right. So again, the first thing, finding balance here. And as we find balance, we're going to go forward and down. And as we find ourselves, whatever it is that we stop, just making sure first to move our heads to make sure that the head and the neck are not straining and it's relaxed, making sure that the arms are still touching your chest and your body. Taking a few deep exhales here, letting go of any worries, letting go of any stress. Allow all of that to come down from the top of your head into the air, just like the wax of a candle. And loosening up all of our self-images, loosening up all that has a hold on us, letting that go. 2 more deep breaths here. And slowly paying attention to your legs and your feet, bring yourself up. And whenever it is that you find yourself all the way up, open a little bit to the back. Open the chest, look a little bit up. And slowly come back to center. Release the leg, release the arms slowly. Yeah. So just taking a moment to feel. If you need to, close your eyes. Yeah. And we're going to do one last movement, which is my favorite movement. Really simple. I'm going to show you first. Our arms are going to be really engaged, and we're going to open them to the sides all the way up, and just before they touch each other, they stop, slightly go up and then down, and up and down, and up and down. So if you want, you can close your eyes and go up and down, and up and down. Making sure that we are breathing in and out, allowing the breath to flow down into our chest, down into our bellies. Yeah. So we want this movement to be even, so both arms are going up and down at the same time. And now we're also going to introduce the quality of going slow. So whatever for you is going slow, go at that speed. It can be like this, or it can be way slower. So whatever slow is for you, go at that speed. So we want the movement to be even, we want the movement to be slow, and we want the movement to be smooth. The slower that we go, the better that it's going to be for us to feel. So as we move, making sure that we are allowing ourselves to feel what is happening in and around our arms, our hands, our fingers, our shoulders, just noticing. And I invite you to try and go a little bit slower. And if you feel as you move slowly that some parts feel a little bit heavier than other parts, or that some parts you're skipping, or the movement is not that smooth, those are blockages in our energy system. So when we move fast, we might not notice them. When we move slowly, we notice them. So if you notice any of these blockages, allow yourself the next time that you move through them to go even slower. Bringing your breath and your awareness into them and allowing that breath and your awareness to give those blockages an inner massage so you can release those blockages. The least amount of blockages that we have, the better the energy will flow through our system. And when we have the entire system with energy flowing, we can actually be relaxed and at ease. When we have blockages, we are not relaxed. So I learned how to feel, how to fall in love with wanting to find blockages. They don't usually feel that great at the beginning, but the alternative is not what I prefer. I prefer to be blockage free. I prefer to be relaxed. So if I can stay with the feeling, remembering that it's just stuck energy, it's not good, it's not bad. And at this moment for this session, I am not going to get into why that blockage was there. I'm just going to feel it. So ideally, we go as slow as we can. And I recommend you do this movement every single day. I do this every single morning. Every single morning of my practice, I do this movement. All the time feeling what is happening in and around the hands, the arms, the shoulders, and also what is happening in the rest of the body. What is happening in your feet and your legs. That energy is flowing down. And a lot of times, because we are touching some of these blockages and that energy is flowing down, we will feel a little bit of uncomfortableness in our lower body. But uncomfortableness, it's the label. What's the feeling? The more we learn the realm of feelings, the easier life is. Making sure that we're breathing in and out, if possible, through your mouth. That will enable that energy to go directly down to our body instead of first to our heads. And when we do this movement, we're not trying to go up, we're not trying to go down. Every single part of the movement is the most important part. Yes, we are moving up and we are moving down, but that's not the aim. The aim is to be present with each part. So we're going to do one last minute. So as we do this last minute, make the most out of it. Really feel it. Just like when we eat something that we love, like when I eat chocolate, that I really taste it, we can do the same with our feelings. We can really feel this experience. Savoring it. So the next time that your arms are down, just keep them down. Whenever it is that you finish the movement, just stay there still. Allow yourself to feel. There's going to be still a lot of energy moving. So allow yourself to feel that. If you're still moving, there's no hurry. Keep going at your own speed. We do the same whether we have finished and we are just standing or whether we are still moving. We are feeling the feelings. And whenever it is that you're ready, go and find yourself your way down to sitting. Find an easy, gentle way to get back into a sitting position. Try not to lose touch with the experience. And as you find yourself in a sitting posture, allow yourself, if you need to, close your eyes. And allow your awareness to go down into your body. Allowing the mind to go into the body so that the body can show the mind what it's like to just be, what it's like to be with the experience. Noticing the feelings in your body, Noticing the breath, allowing your breath to slow down, to become a little bit more gentle, a little bit more subtle. Allowing any feelings that you're experiencing to fully experience them. Any feeling that you're experiencing is not, it's not good, it's not bad. It's just a feeling. And make contact with the feeling, whichever feeling that you can find in your body. So locating where in your body do you have a feeling, and as if you're touching it from within, make contact with that feeling. And if you lose contact with that feeling, just find another feeling. Or if you can stay with that feeling, allow that feeling to start expanding. And if you don't know how to expand the feeling, just imagine that you're inflating it like a balloon, expanding it as much as possible, all through your body and even beyond your body. The skin is no limit. Expand it all through the room that you're in now, and even beyond that room. The walls are no limit. Keep on expanding throughout the entire city and the entire country. Expand throughout the entire planet Earth and beyond into the universe. Keep on expanding. And then start bringing everything that you have expanded back in. Bringing all of that expansion, all of that energy back into your body, into your heart space. Allowing your heart to be filled with this energy. Very slowly, if your eyes are closed, allow yourself to open them and to come back. I'm trying to stay connected with the experience. We're going to, for this session, allow Amy to take over. I'm going to mute my microphone in a moment. So we're going to go to Amy's explanations and experience, and then we're going to come back for the final meditation and sound healing. So Amy, I give it to you.
Thank you, Brian. That was so good. I'm feeling far too relaxed. Okay, everybody. I just want to welcome you here today to learn the natural tools that I am so grateful for in my family right now. When I started on my essential oils journey about 3 years ago, it was for myself, and I needed support. I was going through some pretty big things in my life, and I did not know that I would get to today where we're in self-isolation. We're literally having to look after ourselves and our families, and most people, and I am, too scared to go to hospitals or even GPs. So I'm very grateful for the natural tools that I've got now, that I've invested in, and that I've invested time teaching myself how to use. And I'm very grateful that in a time like this that I can help other people and support them physically, mentally, and emotionally through this really, really tough time. So I welcome you to this space, and I welcome you. I'm very glad that you've joined us today, and whether or not you're just beginning your essential oil journey, or if this is something that you've been doing for a while, I hope you take something away from this. Please feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I have dedicated my life to helping people with natural solutions. So even though we're in lockdown and I've got my 3 boys at home wreaking absolute havoc, I am here to help you, and I'm here to mentor and guide and support. I've got over 3,000 families so far that I've helped support with essential oils, and I want to, I know that everybody needs these tools right now. So I'm going to start really basic with the basics. So when you start on this journey with me and my team, we're called the Essentialists, you don't only get your oils, you get us. So in my team, I've got people from life coaches, massage therapists, midwives, GPs, psychologists, stay-at-home moms. I've got people like Brian that are super qualified to speak into natural healing alongside the oils as well. I've got nutritionists, I've got naturopaths, dietitians, you name it, we've got it in our team, and you get the support from us ongoing. And it's our passion. We're not just doing it for a job, we're doing it to really support you. Usually it starts first with our own families and our own self, but really our passion is to reach out and to help other families. And it's very apparent right now that we need these natural tools. I have literally been grabbing oils left, right, and center to support myself and my family through this transition time. And the next stage for me is really creating a new normal. So today I really want to help transition you into our new normal, which for at least the next 4 weeks is self-isolation, which is crazy, but also exciting. It's a time that we can really look at what we've been going through and how our lives have been over the last couple of years. We can reflect, and then we can really go forward with a new daily normal. I have got a very cool little daily usage sheet that I'll give you at the end of this class, so that you can put it up on your fridge and, you know, change it for whatever it works for you, but to create your new normal. Now, with essential oils, there are just 3 things that I want you to take away from today. I'm not going to bombard you. You're going to have the support of us ongoing. You're going to be invited along to our oil camp, which will teach you in depth how to use every oil physically and emotionally. But today I just want you to learn 3 things and how to use these oils safely. So the first thing is that they are natural and safe. So I'm going to start with lemon. This is literally how I start my day every day. So I know you can't smell it, which is so sad doing these online classes because they smell so good. But for you that are already using essential oils, get out your lemon oil and have a good sniff of that. Because this is about 60 Sicilian lemon rinds that have been cold pressed into this bottle for us to use in self-isolation. Thank goodness, because we can't go out, probably won't be going to Sicily for a while, but we can get these beautiful plant extracts sent to us in these bottles. So what I use this lemon oil for is every morning I want to get up and I want to rebalance my body. I want to rehydrate. So I literally just put 1 drop of lemon oil into a glass of water, and that's going to rehydrate my body. It's going to help flush out all of the toxins that are in my body and really get me a good start to the day. Oh, smells so good. So these oils are natural and safe. The other oil that I start my day with is peppermint oil. And this is another way that we extract oil. So we have the lemon oils and all the citrus oils that we cold press. There's nothing else that goes into these bottles except for the essential extracts from the plant. The other way we get our oils is, so there are the peppermint leaf, and there's little tiny sacs on the back of the peppermint leaf. And we get these little sacs. So these little sacs on the peppermint leaf are basically protecting the peppermint from the elements. So it is protecting it from bugs, insects, mold, etc. And we can use these in exactly the same way as the plant does, which is cool. So they're very natural and safe if we use them safely. So there are a few little things and tips that I need to tell you. And one is, don't get peppermint oil in your eye. Not good. Sorry, I'm having trouble finding where to put you all on my screen. So the first thing is that they're natural and safe, but we do need to learn how to use them properly. So there are 3 ways that we can use the doTERRA essential oils. One, like I spoke to you about, is using them in our water. Now we want to pay close attention to this and not put any oils into plastic. So when I'm saying putting it into your water, putting it into a glass. Don't put it into a plastic drink bottle or anything, because they're so strong and potent that they actually leach. They could leach the plastic from glass, from your plastic bottles. So this lemon oil and peppermint oil really talk about the first cool way of cool thing about essential oils is that they're natural and safe. So I'm actually just doing an aromatherapy course at the moment based on the chemistry of the essential oils. And it is absolutely astounding the amount of effort that doTERRA go to make sure that they're safe and natural. So I think there are like 47 tests that doTERRA do to make sure that they are safe and natural for us. So they work directly with the farmers and they do a number of tests at the farming site to make sure that they're firstly all grown organically. They're then taken and made sure that they are grown, that once they're bottled, they go through a whole heap of tests to make sure that firstly they only have the plant matter in them and that they don't have any toxins, heavy metals, additives, fillers, anything like that in them. And then they're sent away to a third-party tester that does a whole other raft of tests. And I'm not going to go into it. It is literally blowing my mind. And I'm not a chemist. So I won't even try and explain those to you. I'm just talking about our new daily rituals. So the first way we can use them is in our water. And now I'm saying that from an aromatherapy perspective, I'm not talking about any essential oils. I'm just talking about doTERRA essential oils. I can't vouch for other companies. I don't know what testing they do, but a lot of them don't test and they're not safe for consumption. So if you look on the back of the bottle, it'll say for flavoring use. That means that it's actually approved by the FDA and TGA for adding to our water or our food. And then the peppermint oil, super, super strong, super safe. So what I like to do with this peppermint oil when I wake up in the morning to really boost me and get oxygen in my blood and get me pumping is another internal way that we can use it is pressing a little bit of oil on the end of my thumb and pressing it into the soft palate of my mouth. And that's going to really help me breathe and open up my airways and oxygenate my blood. You could do that actually. I did that just before we did our yoga practice with Brian. The next way that we can use these two natural and safe oils is in a diffuser. So I have my diffuser running behind me here. I actually have a really beautiful blend of wild orange, geranium and cedarwood in them, but we're not going to go into all those creepy, crazy oils because it'll overwhelm you. I'm just going to stick to our top 10 today. But adding lemon and peppermint into the diffuser is a really beautiful way to pick us up and give us energy in the morning. So I would just put 2 or 3 drops of lemon, 2 or 3 drops of peppermint in with the water in the diffuser, and that's going to really freshen us up. It's going to open our airways and give us lots of energy. So who of you, put your hands up, has been struggling to get out of our pajamas in the morning and being like, well, what's the point, because where are we going? We've got nowhere to go. What I recommend same, but what I recommend is us creating a new normal and putting a routine into our lives. So the first little thing in the morning that we can do is have our glass of lemon water. Easy, we can do that, we can all do that. Second, we can get our peppermint and press it into the top of our mouth. We can all do that. It'll freshen our breath and at least our family will like us and want to talk to us, right? But the next thing we can do is we can go around our house and we can talk to ourselves, we can talk to our God, we can talk to our family, whoever we're talking to, we can talk to our cat, and we can be grateful for what we have. We've got everything we have right now. But a really great way to set the mood in your home is to put a diffuser on. And with the lemon and the peppermint together, it's going to really create a really beautiful, uplifted energy. And then we're going to go and get the flip out of our pajamas and put some clothes on. We might even put a little bit of makeup on our face, who knows. But we're going to create this new norm and we're going to frickin' thrive. So the next oils that I'm going to talk about are some things that are very topical right now. So we've been hearing through the news what sort of happened in China, and what they have told us that we need to sort of do to get through this, or what this virus is all about. So this particular virus appears to live on surfaces for up to 9 days. So one thing that we can do, obviously, is wash our hands. Yes, we know that. Thank you. Washing and drying our hands is really important. But while we're in our homes and while we're creating this new norm, a really good thing to do in the morning after you've got dressed is to give your house a little clean. Create a really beautiful environment for yourself. And what I like to do is I like to keep everything natural in my home. For me, my freaking cleaners can't come anymore, which is a bit of a shame. So I've become the cleaning lady. But what I've done is I have got my beautiful little amber spray bottles like this. I have got my On Guard cleaner, which is full of essential oils and all natural substances. And I have made my own cleaning bottles. So in this bottle, I literally put 1 tablespoon of this On Guard, and then I will add in the bathroom spray, I'll add my tea tree. So tea tree, if you think about tea tree, again, super natural and safe, comes from the plants that are growing in Australia in the swamps, shitty environment for a plant to grow. It thrives, it grows like crazy. This tea tree, or the little extracts that we take from the tea tree, are really super powered to stop things like mosquitoes, flies, etc. Cool, that's great. We're not in summer right now. We're talking about winter. We are stuck in our homes. We are feeling a bit crappy. What's the worst thing that we could be breathing in right now? Mold, dust, dirt. We want to get rid of all those things. So tea tree, just like it protects the plant in Australian swamps, it's also going to protect our environment in our homes. And that's all we can really focus on right now, is creating a beautiful home environment and a beautiful daily routine. So with the tea tree, I add that to the spray bottle, about 10 drops. And then I can clean all of my bathroom surfaces and spray out all of the insides of my wardrobes. One thing I've been doing each day so far this week is focusing on one room to really declutter. It helps me with my control, freak out, overwhelm, and gives me something to do. So obviously I've got lots of things to do. I've got 3 kids, I've got a husband, I've got a job full-time. But for me, being able to go through systematically each room of my house, get rid of anything that is no longer serving me, clean out, organize, clean out my wardrobes. It's a really good part of my daily routine right now to really feel in control and living in my power. So that's what I do with this. The other one, I have 2 of these, one in my bathroom and one in my kitchen. So in my kitchen, I do the same. I just have my On Guard, which is super powered, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. And then I add lemon to it, which is super, as we've spoken about already, natural, but very powerful. So this one is going to help really make our houses clean and uplift us as we're cleaning as well. And what we're really focusing on right now, I'm not usually a big advocate for cleaning my own house. I usually say outsource that. But in our new normal, I am trying to thrive. I'm trying to get my power back, and I'm trying to live a structured, organized, non-chaotic home life so that I can really embrace my power and come back into a centered place where I can be the leader in my home. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the power of these essential oils. So the second cool thing is the effectiveness of the oils. Now in this time at the moment, we are starting to learn about this virus. And we want to understand how to not be a good host for this virus to live in. So firstly, we're living in isolation so that we don't expose ourselves to it. But secondly, what we're coming to understand is that the virus can live in the throat for up to 3 or 4, 5 days before it actually drops into the chest, where it can really cause havoc. So what we want to do is really keep ourselves hydrated, so that lemon in the morning is great. The other thing we can use is our On Guard. And where is it? Our On Guard. So this is our protective blend. It's made up of wild orange, cloves, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So we can use this one here and sip away at it to really build our immunity and keep that throat area really protected. So I've just been literally just having warm water with 1 drop of On Guard in it and sipping that throughout the day. The other oil that we can use in this time is obviously lemon. So we can either have that in cold or warm water in the morning. And we can keep that going. I've actually made up a little sprayer bottle here that I have actually been experiencing a sore throat, and because I'm a complete hypochondriac, I think I've got coronavirus every day. So I need to I need to make sure that so that I can make sure that I don't, keep myself protected. So the little bottle, so this is just from Claire and Sarah, a question about the little bottle versus the big bottle of On Guard. So the little bottle, this is pure plant extracts. This one here is an On Guard cleaner concentrate. So this one here is just really cost effective because this bottle here can make up to about 30 spray bottles of cleaner, and it's about $19 or $20. This one here is the pure plant extracts, and this is the one that you get in your starter kit if you decide to invest in a starter kit. So that is what I'm doing to keep my throat protected. In here, all I've got is a few drops of frankincense, a few drops of lemon, a few drops of On Guard, and 1 drop of oregano, because oregano tastes disgusting, but it's super, super powerful. So that is the second cool thing about essential oils, is that they pack a punch, like a serious punch, and we can actually use them, and often they're more effective than what you can get from the pharmacy or from the doctor. At this time, obviously, we are wanting to avoid going anywhere. So this little kit that I've got of top 10 oils is amazing to use as in place of a first aid kit, and we actually teach and go into real in depth with how to build your own first aid kit from this kit in our oil camp. We've got our next one starting early April. But I'm just going to quickly touch on a couple of oils that are the basis of my first aid kit. So Easy Air is basically our respiratory blend. We know that with this virus, that once it moves into the chest, it can take hold and become a really problematic for people to breathe. Now, we're all young and healthy and well, but we want to keep ourselves that way. I've been diffusing this Easy Air in the diffuser. So this one is not for internal use. This one can just be used topically. And I use a fractionated coconut oil to dilute it before I rub it on topically. But it can be used like Vicks, but it's just a more natural and more potent version of Vicks, I guess. So we can just put 1 or 2 drops in our hand with about a teaspoon of the fractionated coconut oil, rub it on our chest, rub it on our back, rub it on our feet, and that's going to really keep it open, keep our respiratory system really functioning well, because we don't want to wait until we get sick. We really want to be proactive and preventative in what we do in our daily practice. Can you overuse or overdose on oils taken internally? Yes, you can. It's the same as with water. If you drink too much water, it's not good. If you have too many essential oils, it's not good. So obviously less is more, actually, with essential oils. So with the essential oils, they're up to 70 times stronger than the plants themselves. So we really do want to be mindful about how much we use. So what the rule of thumb is for using internally is just 1 drop per person per use. And we go into this in a lot more depth in our oil camp, but that's basically will keep you safe for now. But everybody's bodies are different, so we really need to be mindful of that. And when you start, you can start really easily by using the diffuser, so using that aromatic use, and just starting with a couple of drops in the diffuser. And then we go, oh, okay, I want to be a little bit more brave. I'm going to move to the next level, and now I'm going to start diluting and putting on my body. So always dilute before you apply topically. And then when you get super brave, you can be like, oh, I'm going to try it. 1 drop in a glass of water of lemon, you know, is a great way to start, but always just listen to your body. And don't go crazy. The other thing with creating this daily routine is that with essential oils, less is more, but it's better to use them a little tiny bit throughout the day and build up our immune and our health slowly, rather than waiting till you get sick and then bombarding yourself with a whole lot of different essential oils. So that easier obviously can be used all the time to help with our respiratory system, but when we do get sick, or if we do get that phlegmy buildup, we can use it to really help relieve those phlegmy symptoms as well, which is awesome. And then I really want to go and just touch on another oil that I use if I do get sick, because that's what we're all thinking about, right, at the moment, and that's oregano. So oregano is our natural defense. So this one is the one that we use if we do get sick. So I'm not going to go out to a doctor. I'm not going to go to a pharmacy right now and expose myself to potential threats. But if I do get sick and I am running a virus, picked up a virus or running a fever or something like that, I know that I can go to oregano as my natural antibiotic. And the great thing about plants, they're natural and safe, they're super potent. This oregano is the most potent oil that you can get, and it's very hot, but it really, really works. It's very, very effective. So I have used this many times with my children. And many times with myself. If I feel like I'm getting sick, I'll spray some into the back of my throat, and with that blend that I told you about earlier. Now this one here has only got about 30 drops all up of essential oils. The rest is topped up with just filtered water. Now this little bottle, I've only used about that much, but I've been using it for about 5 or 6 days to stop my sore throat. And the intensity of the sore throat that I had would normally, if I had left it, would have turned into I just knew that I was getting sick, and I was like, I cannot get sick at this time. So I spray my throat every 3 or 4 hours with this. And I mean, it's just a very, very tiny, small amount of essential oils, but they are so damn effective. So this oregano oil, don't get it in your eyes, don't get it on your skin undiluted. But you can use it for defense, killing anything in your throat. And also with essential oils, they are much better suited to fighting a virus than, say, an antibiotic, because they are oil-based. And we all know that, let's go back to biology 101, that every cell in our body is surrounded by a fatty lipid. Now, these essential oils can actually penetrate the cell membrane and go in and help support the virus or the cell to fight off the virus. Unlike antibiotics that often, they're synthetic, so they often just kind of bounce around the cells and sometimes will help with some of the symptoms but won't really help our body repair, where these guys can really help our body repair. The third friggin' cool thing about essential oils is that they are cost effective. So if I was to go out and buy all of these different things for everything that I possibly could need over the next month, I'd be talking about hundreds of dollars. So to start off with, the clean bottles that I make, they cost about $1.50 each. That's epic. And I don't have to go down to Countdown and wait in the line for 3 hours like all of those other poor bastards. So cheap, very cost effective. Easy, yeah, this can replace all of your Vicks. This can replace so many different things in your home. We have got the oregano. Rather than going to a doctor, getting a script, getting antibiotics, we can use this one instead. With children, just be very mindful with some of these hotter oils to really use them safely. So I would suggest, and I'll go into much more detail about this when you come and join us in Oil Camp, but with oregano, it's, this can actually burn warts off your feet. So don't just go and put it on your kid or on yourself. Really make sure that you dilute it. So I like to make up roller bottles like this, and I'll put, for a child, just 1 drop per year of age into this bottle and top the rest up with fractionated coconut oil. And then with the oregano, because it smells a little bit like a pizza shop, I will just put it on the bottom of their feet and then put socks on, which is really cool and very effective. So those are the 3 coolest things about essential oils. Now, I really want to go through an evening routine. I think that, in the morning, we've kind of got that down. Claire's asked, what is fractionated coconut oil? It's just had the fatty lipids taken out of it, so it is non-greasy, and it can help the essential oils carry into the cells in our body rather than just sitting on the top of the skin like normal coconut oil. And also it doesn't stain our clothing. And it really, it's got a really beautiful feeling on our skin, and you can actually use it even on your face without it being greasy and clogging up your pores. So the third thing I want to talk about is our self-isolation and creating a little bit of a Zen environment for ourselves. And that is our evening routine, is to create a really beautiful, relaxed evening. So what I have been doing for myself and for my kids, and I've had quite a few clients messaging me saying, my kids are freaking out, my husband's freaking out. I'm like, yep, I totally get it. And totally, this is a freaking weird, crazy time that we're going through. Like, if we weren't questioning what was going on and really curious about things, we'd have something wrong with us. So we need to really be okay with asking these questions, and be okay with our kids being anxious about it too. But we just need to center ourselves and come to a place of power so that we can lead the children, and the husbands often too. So for me, these 2 oils have been the absolute lifesaver for me ever since I started using the essential oils. So I used to suffer from major mood problems. So I was diagnosed with bipolar probably 15 years now, and that's what got me on my natural health journey. I was like, okay, cool. Medication, great. Yes, it works in some ways, but also it gave me really bad side effects. So I needed to find a natural alternative. So that's where I've gone down the route of learning about natural food, learning about natural medicines, etc. And the frankincense and the lavender are the two oils that I literally cannot live without. And for our putting into our daily routine, we can use these throughout the day. So people often, talk about lavender with sleep, and yes, it can help with sleep, but it's a nervine tonic. So what it really does is it kind of can cushion our nervous system, and sort of it's almost like having like a hug in a bottle, where if we're feeling frazzled, on edge, not breathing, freaking out, this is the one that we're really going to use to come back to ourselves. And then the frankincense is an amazing oil. It's been around for thousands of years. It's from beautiful little spindly looking trees in Somalia that don't have a great living environment, but they know that they need to go deep, and they've got this massive, amazing root system that helps bring the nutrients into the tree. Now we can use this frankincense to really deep root us and make us feel grounded and safe and secure. And what I want you guys to do over this time is to create a feeling of safety and security for you and for your children and for your other loved ones that are living with you. So these two together, I actually incorporate these many times into my day. I have got a roller made up like this with 10 drops of each, frankincense and lavender, and then frankincense. And I've actually been using it as a perfume. So I've been rolling it on my pulse points to help really decrease those feelings of anxiety during the day. But in my evening routine, there are a couple of ways that I've been using it. So one, I have been, not every day, but often I'll be having a bath with by myself if I'm lucky. Not often, but often with my 2-year-old. I will have a bath with him. It's a really great time for us to be able to connect and help him wind down at the end of the day. He's like a little wild animal, so him being cooped up inside every day is a little bit overwhelming. Often my 7-year-old will hop in the bath with us, and that's fun too. But but these two oils in the bath, I get a cup of Epsom salts, and then I put a little drop of fractionated coconut oil and a couple of drops each of lavender and frankincense, and that really creates a beautiful calming effect for my nervous system, for my muscles. That often, when you're holding energy and you're feeling overwhelmed, you often get really sort of almost sore muscles. So that's going to really help relax you and calm you at the end of the day. Other ways that you can use this is in your diffuser beside your bed. You can make your own facial toners and moisturizers, but we'll teach you all of those things in Oil Camp. The other thing that I want to talk about, and I'll leave that till last because it's not beautiful, but our digestive systems. So in this time of uprootedness, of chaos, of crazy, we often go into that fight or flight way of being. So the first thing that I realized was that my digestive system had shut down, aka not being able to poo. And there are a few things that I have done to help with that situation or situation. Got to keep the feeling light around here, people. One, I have been getting a green smoothie in every morning, trying to get as much fruit in, as much greens in as possible. I actually add a drop of lemon to my smoothie in the morning. The other thing is getting out and going for a walk. and getting our body moving, doing some a gentle yoga or meditation like we've done this morning with Brian. But what I find is the most helpful for my digestive system is Digest Zen. So with this, I often at night I feel the worst and really bloated and stuck. And it's because our brains, we've got a whole nervous system running between our gut and our brain. So if our brain is in chaos and feeling overwhelmed and stressed, our stomach is going to churn and feel overwhelmed and stressed. And all of our energy is going to go into our extremities to run away from the craziness and the chaos that's going on in our lives. So our digestive system will actually just take a little holiday. So what we need to do is go, come on, bro, come back to me. Let's focus on working, please. So the Digest Zen really helps bring us back to a good functioning digestive system. And so with normal medicines, normally, if you were feeling blocked up, you'd go and buy something to fix that. Or if you were feeling the other way churny and you had loose bowels, you would go and get something else. With Digest Zen, and this is one of the beauties of essential oils, is not only is it natural and safe, super effective, but it's cost effective too. So that we don't have to go and buy all these different things. We can use this one oil to help bring us back to homeostasis and to help our digestive system function properly. So there are a couple of ways that you can use that. So you can dilute it with the fractionated coconut oil and rub it clockwise on your belly. With little children, because it's quite a hot oil, I would prefer to start rubbing it on their feet. But for myself, because I've been using essential oils for quite some time and I know how my body responds, the best way for me is to just have a warm glass of water and just put a drop of this in. And it's got everything in it that a digestive tea would have in it, only it's much, much stronger, therefore more effective. So anise, peppermint, ginger, caraway, coriander, tarragon, and fennel. So just one drop is all you need. And each one of these bottles has 260 drops in, so you can understand like how far it goes. So that's the third cool thing about essential oils, is that super cost effective. And once you've invested in your natural toolkit, you will learn. I've touched on a few different ways that you can use it in one day, but there are so many other things that can help you with not only these little physical things that are going on, but major and amazing emotional support. So I know for myself that when I get stressed or whatever, my digestive system shuts down, I can't poo, then my eczema breaks out, everything, all of the energy in my body creates eczema or heat in my body goes to my hands, and I get eczema on my hands. So really, I know that these work for me. So for me, to have these tools on hand is just absolutely amazing. And I didn't really understand until recently the emotional benefits of these essential oils. I sort of just thought, yeah, physically I get that my brain's connected to my gut and my gut health needs to be good for my mental health to be good. That's cool. But it's actually amazing once you start learning the aromatherapy benefits behind this as well, which is what I'm studying at the moment. And Digest Zen, this particular blend, is actually created to help us digest what's going on in the world, or digesting situations. And I think that that's really what we need to understand right now, is that we are going through a massive shift in the whole world. Our whole world has been turned upside down by this virus, and we need to digest what's come before, where we are now, and also creating some sort of future or a new normal for ourselves. And this digest zen can help us sit down, have a cup of tea, one drop of digestion in, and really digest those emotions. So don't wait until you're blocked up and you're feeling sick and miserable. You can actually use this as a preventative to help with those emotions. So I am not going to ramble on and bore you any longer. But I do invite you to come along, and if you're wanting to start with the essential oils, to reach out. I'll send out an email this afternoon with my details, with this class recording, and with Brian's details. And I am doing half-hour health consults on Monday, so on the hour. So if you would like one of the 6 spots, I'll be doing 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2. Please respond to that email with the hour that you would like, and it'll be half an hour to 40 minutes to get you started, and then I'll put you into our essential oils Facebook community, and you'll be fed all of the deliciousness from all of our experts within that community. And then I will also invite you along to Oil Camp, which is very cool and very fun way to really get exposed to all of the benefits of these essential oils. And I will send out a PDF, and it's basically my daily rituals that I use each day. And there are probably heaps that I didn't even talk about, but I just wanted to keep this quite brief. And also, I just don't like to overwhelm people to start with. I want you to just start small and just learn and gather information, and go on from there. So Brian's going to come back now and do some healing sound. I am going to tune into that and forget about these oils for a minute, but do reach out straight after this class with a time that you would like to come and speak to me on Monday. And if somebody else has invited you along to this class, please reach out to them or to me and just tell me that they are the ones that have invited you, so that I can get you hooked into our amazing community. Now, if you start with an essential oil toolkit, like the 10 oils that I showed you today, so that those oils are either called the Family Essentials Kit, which is the smaller 5 ml of each of the bottles. Those 10 oils also come in a pack called the Home Essentials Kit, and that's a 15 ml of all the bottles, and you get a free diffuser with that. There's also another kit called Nature's Solutions, which basically has got all of the oils plus all the cleaning and the toothpaste and all of the other cool products that we use to keep ourselves safe and well, and that's called the Nature's Solutions. And with all of those kits, you get access to our Essentialists Facebook community, you get our online Oils Camp training for free, and you get a half-hour wellness consult with myself for free. And this month, you also get a bottle of cedarwood, which is very nice, a very nice little incentive as well. So I'm really pleased that I've introduced you to the power of essential oils, and I really hope you can take away those 3 cool things: being natural and safe, being super strong and effective, and being cost effective. Thank you so much, guys. And now I'm going to hand you back to our lovely Brian.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. I think we can hear me. So I just invite you, after Amy's explanations, to come back to sitting or laying down. And I always find that it's a very good practice after we have heard some information to be able to integrate it. So I just invite you to come back into your body and to be able to find a place to sit or lay down, and to close your eyes. Reconnect with your breath. Perhaps take a couple of deep exhales, just as we did at the very beginning. So I invite you once again to give yourself the permission to be here, present in this moment. Dropping into your body, allowing your awareness to come to the center of your being. So just like in life, every single day, there are moments where we can be still. There's moments when we're engaging with other people, with information. And we need to learn and have the tools to move from one to the other one, because both parts are happening every single day. So when we go to the mind and then we come back to the body, and then we go back to the mind and then come back to the body. So now we're coming back to the body. And when we come back to the body, we can just be. There's nothing to do. Just going in, noticing how does your inner landscape look like at this moment. Noticing any feelings and sensations. And I'm going to invite you to just be open. Being open to the experience, and open in a moment to the sounds that I'm going to play, to the vibrational medicine that these sounds will bring. Allowing ourselves to be open and present. So there's nothing else that you have to do. And I invite you to bring your awareness into your heart space. And if you'd also like to, you can bring your hands in front of your heart, connecting with your heart space, allowing all of the energy, all of the knowledge and wisdom that we got to mix with all of our already untapped inner resources. We have what we need already. We just need to connect with it. We have the power. We have the resilience. We have all of the tools that we need. We just need to remember them. So as we bring this session towards an end, I invite you to join me in bowing in a gesture of appreciation and respect. So I want to thank all of you for being here, for joining us, for joining me in the practice, and Amy. And I hope that this time that is coming, that we're able to all be well, that we're all able to thrive in it and understand and connect more with ourselves and with our loved ones, and that we're able to use this time for what we want. So if you're interested, as Amy was saying before, we'll send an email after this, ways to stay connected with us, as I'm going to start doing some sessions starting this week. So if you're interested in any of that, we're just going to send that information by email. And just so that we can finish on time, like it's 12 now. So I just want to honor if anybody needs to go to be free. If anybody wants to stay chatting a little bit, feel free to do that as well. But officially, we are just going to finish this. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian.